I am talking today. If you're a youth worker, I hope that you're here today and you're watching this because I want you to have a fantastic 2019. I don't know what your 2018 year was like, but I can tell you this: if you want to see your 2019, you want to have the best youth ministry of your life in 2019. I'm going to encourage you to sign up for my new coaching group that I have. I've started a coaching group called Ministry Mind. A lot of these groups are called masterminds, and I get the theory behind that. You have somebody who's kind of the brain of the operation and kind of dispenses information and so forth. But I also think that we can be ministry minded. In other words, it's not just about one person or one guru or one thing. I'm inviting 10 people in that where we're going to collectively, I'm going to be able to share insight and so forth from the past 30 years of youth ministry. I'm going to invest in you twice a month. To just sit with you and talk with you about what's going on in your ministry. How can I help you develop ideas and get them to fruition, get them to where you can execute on them? So many great plans and so many great ideas and so many things fall apart in youth ministry because simply the execution is not there. But what could you do? Listen, what could you do in 2019 if you had a group of people that you know you could connect with twice a month? Somebody who's going to be there in your corner twice a month, not just me, but collectively helping feed ideas, helping doing things, but also providing the accountability necessary because I'm going to keep you accountable. I'm going to ask you, how did you know that every week that you plan something or every week you come in, I'm going to ask key questions of you and say, how did that go? You said you were going to do X, or you said you were going to do this outreach. And listen, youth ministry as life is filled with big ideas, but how many of those big ideas come to fruition? And I would say that not many come to fruition because we don't have a team around us to help us do that. We're frustrated. We think it's a great idea, but we don't know how to get it off the ground. And part of the role of Ministry Mind is simply to say, listen, come in twice a month and say, look, let's lay it on the table. Where do I need to grow? Now, look, you may be bivocational. You may be a volunteer. You may be a full-time youth pastor simply looking to up your game. And you're saying, look, I don't have the people in my church. I have to go away for a conference. I have to go to one-day network meetings. There's nothing wrong with that. But that is very different than knowing that you're going to be meeting with somebody twice a month to hold you accountable to do great youth ministry. Somebody's going to pray with you. Somebody's going to keep you accountable. Somebody's going to help you move forward. Somebody's going to help you plan. All these things to help you figure out all the little things in there that youth ministry requires. And sometimes we hit that wall where we just can't get past that. I'm telling you, if twice a month for a year, I'm telling you, you're going to grow in your role as a youth pastor and as a youth minister. It doesn't matter whether you're full-time. It doesn't matter whether you have a college education or not, by the way. You may say, Paul, but I don't have a college education. I'm not a full-time youth pastor. Listen, you don't need a full-time, you don't need a college degree to love kids. And in many churches, that's where, the vast majority of churches have volunteer youth workers. And let me tell you what a great place to be in a group of other youth workers from across the board, volunteer, bivocational, full-time, to get the kind of information you want to be able to develop. You have a heart and a passion. Maybe you have another job. You're a doctor. You're a lawyer. You work for the park and rec system. It doesn't matter. But every month you say, look, I want to get better at this thing called youth ministry. I want to get better at ministering to kids. I want to learn the tools. I want to learn the strategies. I really want to develop this youth ministry into something. And I'm telling you, you don't need a college degree to love kids. And really, youth ministry at its highest level is saying, look, I'm going to show you, young people, I'm going to love you, but I'm also going to show you how to love God by watching my life. And so, but when you have those twice a month meetings that you're going to be in, you're going to say, look, I'm going to be held accountable. I'm going to grow not only in my skill set as far as how to work with teenagers, but I'm also going to be able to grow in my own life. Listen, these are not, static, meetings that we're going to have where we're simply going to talk strategy and all these various things. It's going to be warm. It's going to be pleasant. It's going to be fun. There's not going to be any waste of time. Each meeting is about 60 to, about maybe, 90 minutes long. Probably that's the cap off there. But usually for about 60 minutes, roughly, twice a month. That's 2 hours a month that you're putting an investment into yourself, into your ministry. And you say, Paul, how much does this thing cost? What is this thing about? The cost is this. It's $75 a month. And that is, by the way, far below market value for the kind of coaching you're going to get. I want to say this. If you say, look, Paul, I want to go to, I want to go to conferences, things like, listen, for what you'd pay in coaching, right? You would pay to go to a 4-day conference. So think about this. You're going to go to a 4-day conference. You'll pay $1,500, let's say, for the conference. That includes room and the meetings and buying books, and you're going to get all that stuff. And you're going to get 4 days of that. The problem is that many of these authors, speakers, all those things are not coming home with you. They're not going to help you sit down and strategize. How many times have you gone to a conference and got tons of information, and yet you went home and went, now I'm frustrated because I don't know how to execute on the information I got at this conference. I don't know the process. I don't know the steps. I don't know how to build a system. I don't know how to do those things. Well, this twice a month coaching, this Ministry Mind Group is built for that. It's weekly, twice a month, coming in and saying, what do you have? What do you have coming up? How do we get this done? How do we work on these things together? And for $75 a month, listen, you can build this into your budget, right? $75 a month. You go to your pastor, you go to your board, you go to whoever it is and say, listen, I really feel like I need, this is what you would call continuing education. You're saying, look, I want to continue to be good at what I'm doing here. I want to continue to up my game to help young people. I want to grow so I can grow this youth ministry, so I can grow these kids, so these kids can find the Lord, so they can be disciples, so they can be productive members of our church. And that's the goal, right? That's the goal, is that these kids grow up in the faith and eventually find their place within the church. And so this twice a month Ministry Mind Group is built around that. It's built around helping youth pastors stay longer in their churches so they don't feel isolated, they don't feel alone, they don't feel like they're not growing, they don't feel like nobody's there to invest in them. And that's what this is about. This is not about, anything else other than that. It's simply saying, look, I want to use what I have, my 30 years of experience, my anything I've ever done in youth ministry, whether that's writing books or whether that's, writing on a blog for 12 years, whether that's, whatever it is, speaking at conferences, I've done that. Listen, I want to take all this, I want to bear it all down on you. I want to focus on you, 10 of you, for a year. Now listen, say, Paul, what if I don't like it? Okay, so for $75 a month, by the way, there's a cutoff point here. January 7th is the cutoff point to be a part of this this Ministry Mind Group. And after this video, there'll be a link in here. I'll put a link in here that you can get to if you want to sign up. And I hope that you do. You say, Paul, what if I don't like it? What if it's too... well, listen, if you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. You buy a subscription. It's $75 a month. It'll automatically come out from whatever credit card, church credit card, your credit card, whatever it is. And you will go ahead and say, okay, well, what if I don't like it? Well, there's a way for you to unsubscribe. There's simply say, look, I can't afford it. I need to take a break. I need to take a month off, whatever it is. You have the ability to do that. This is not a lock system that says, once you're in forever until Jesus comes. This is say, look, come in January. Let's do 2 sessions together. Go ahead and pay for your first month. And if you don't like it, listen, I send you a link. We figure it out and we get you unsubscribed and we go from there. I'm not trying to trick or fool anybody. What I am trying to do is make sure that you have the best year of youth ministry you have ever had in your life, in your career. If this is a career for you, you want to think about how you're going to go forward, how you're going to stay in it long enough to make an impact, right? Me, I've done it for 30 years, and now I'm ready to pass on that information for you. If you want quality training, if you want deeper relationships, if you want to build a successful youth ministry, if you want to dig into the creative process of your youth work, if you want to gain confidence to both meet and exceed the expectations of your pastor, your board, your parents, then this is going to be the group for you. This is where you want to go. This is that next level stuff. This is that stuff that's beyond conference, that's beyond the local network meeting you may go to. This is beyond the book you're going to read. This is saying, I want to make a long-term commitment to being the best youth worker I can possibly be. And so if you'll go, you talk to your board, get it built into your budget, and go from there. So guys, I hope that I've explained what this is all about. I hope I've done a sufficient job of sharing this with you. If you are somebody watching this and maybe you're not a youth pastor, you say, I would love to sponsor a youth pastor. Listen, there's plenty of people that maybe can't afford this, and I understand that completely. But guess what? You know what? Whatever you're paying is what it's worth, right? You're going to get the value of it, right? If you were to get it for free, you would simply say, well, I get this information for free. Great, but you're not getting the context. You're not getting the individual counsel and those kind of things. So I think you get what you pay for, right? So for $75, if you're somebody who says, look, I want to sponsor our youth pastor. My youth pastor doesn't even know this exists. I would love to get them in this. I would love to sponsor them. Hit me up in the messages. Let me know. Send me a personal message, and we will work that out together. I will send you whatever I need to send for you. Now, last little thing. If you sign up by the 7th, here's what you're going to get. Not only are you going to get the 2 months, but you're going to get my book, Prepared for Impact. You're going to get that as long as I have copies available. I have some that I can ship out. Most people will probably get the PDF, but you're going to get that. Not only that, you're going to get my book, The Disciple Project. You're going to get that, okay? And I'm going to do a video on this later. First time I'm going to reveal this. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it, but it's a brand new resource. You're going to get your own personal My Youth Ministry Playbook 2019. This is not just a planner. It is a planner, but it's not just a planner. It's a playbook. And in that, you're going to get, there's calendars, there's articles, there's questions you should be asking, there's all kinds of things. What would that look like if you walked around your church with this in your hand and said, what do you got in your hand there? That's my Youth Ministry Playbook. I have a plan for this year. We're not just going to exist. We're not just going to fumble around in the dark. We're going to actually make plans, execute on them, and we're going to watch people get saved, and we're going to watch people grow in their faith, and we're going to watch this youth ministry grow as best as it can. And so guess what? If you see that, walking around with that in your hands, you're going to be in good shape. People are going to go, hey, that guy, that girl, they got a plan. How awesome is that? So, but that's it for today, guys. I want to just share that with you today. I hope that you'll investigate it. Once again, links will be in the description, in the description there. I hope that you'll check it out and be a part of Ministry Mind 2019. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Be part of the first class. It's like X-Men First Class. This is it. First class. And first class always defines the rest. You get to build upon something that I'm going to do and spend the next 10 years of my life doing, which is pouring into and developing youth workers, which I've done for the past 30 years. But this is going to be different. And I hope that you guys are going to be a part of it. So that's it for today, guys. I hope that you'll check it out. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. We'll talk to you guys later.